So grade 6 girls, let's start. I think so no one joined, right? Except you, Wateen.
Yeah.
Just revise the last class. Lesson number 3, sexual and asexual reproduction. So we'll start with sexual reproduction. As my previous lesson was almost about the sex cells, you know that sex cells are also called as haploid, right? Am I correct? Is it haploid? And sex cells have one female and one male. Just name them, Wateen.
What?
The male cell and the female cell. What is it
Female.
called?
Cell. Excel.
Yes, and the X is the female and the male is
Sperm.
sperm cell.
Yeah.
Okay. And this page I have finished yesterday, right?
Yeah. We finished the lesson. Now we're in lesson 3.
Okay. So we will start with what asexual reproduction. Okay. I will show you, I will explain you what is here. We'll do the important points and then we'll see the video of it. When I say asexual reproduction, that means, is it meiosis or mitosis?
What?
Is it meiosis or mitosis? Asexual means with one parent.
Meiosis.
Okay, meiosis. You told me meiosis. Don't
Yeah.
you remember, Vateen? Meiosis had, I spoke about sex cells. Can sex cells be without two parent? Can it be with one parent, sex cells?
No.
It has both mother and father. So that's why asexual can never be meiosis. It is always mitosis. You understood my point? It is always
Yeah.
mitosis. Like example, my nails, they grow big by mitosis.
Yeah.
By sexual reproduction. Anyways, an individual organism do not live forever. They survive. Any species depends on the ability to reproduce. Reproductions lets genetic information be passed on to new organisms. Reproductions involve various kind of cell division. Most single cell organisms, this is important, highlight with me.
Okay.
Single celled organisms and very some multicellular like bacteria, they reproduce asexually. Most single cell organism, single cell means prokaryote. Most single cell organ page, wait a minute. Page 114.
Okay. Wait, what do I have? Oh, okay.
Look onto the screen. Okay. So single cell, mostly all of the single cell are asexual reproduction. They reproduce through asexual reproduction. Very few multicellular, that is like very small bacteria. One organism produces one or more new organisms that are identical to itself. Girls, again, remember that when I talk about asexual, that means they will give you identical. Like example, I'll tell you rose flower. You can see an exactly rose flower next to that. That is exactly identical, like same. You and your mom, yes, you resemble. I know you are similar, but you're not exactly same. Are you same?
No.
They know that.
No, not exactly.
Yes, not exactly. So in sexual, we don't get exact identical. But in asexual, we get exact identical to itself. You understand? The bacteria, the organism will be exactly the same as the other organism was. These organisms live independently of the original organism. The organism that they don't depend. Like you depend on your mother. We depend on plants. We depend on animals. They don't depend. They live independently. The organism that produces the new organisms or organism is called a parent. Here, who's the parent? The organism that produce a new organism is called a parent. Each new organism is called offspring. Like here, your mom and dad, they are your parent, right?
Yeah.
Mom and dad are parent. And who you are? The new organism. You are new. You are called as offspring. What are you called as? Offspring. Each new organism is called offspring. The parent passes all genetic information to the offspring, your mom and your dad. They pass you their information, like maybe the color of the eyes, maybe the hair, maybe some of their likes, their dislikes. So from both you got half from your mother and half from your father. But in asexual reproduction, they are identical to the parent. They may differ only if the genetic mutation happens. Sometimes there is some genetic problems. That time they don't look alike, but mostly they are exactly the same. Coming to the process. How do organisms reproduce asexually? Girls, you need to remember when I ask you, how do they reproduce asexually? This question, when I ask you tomorrow this question, how do organisms reproduce asexually? You just have to say me through BBD. B, B, and S, I guess. B, B, and S, I think. B, B, and S, yes. B, B, S, that is budding. That is budding. Binary fission. Don't say fusion. Fission. Binary fission. Budding and spores. And bispores. You understand this? I will explain one by one. Yes. Tell me, Malak, are you there? She did not join me. Okay.
Left.
Lean. There are three methods to reproduce asexually. What are the three methods?
BBS.
That is budding,
Binary fission, budding, and spores.
very good. Binary fission, budding, and spores.
Miss, can you read for me the last one after spores?
Vegetative reproduction.
Vegetative reproduction.
Reproduction.
We will not write it with BBS.
You will write. You will write. We will write. We will write. I did not see that time. BBSV. You can remember BBSV. That is binary fission, budding, spores, and vegetative reproduction. And BBSV. Come on. Sorry. BBS and V. All right. Binary fission, budding, spores, vegetative reproduction. Okay, let us start with binary fission. Is the form of asexual reproduction in prokaryotes. When I say lean prokaryotes, that means in single cell organism. That means in single cell
Organism.
It is a type of cell division. What happened during binary fission? The parent organism It splits into two. That is mitosis actually. The parent organism splits into two, producing two new cells. Do you remember? I taught you in mitosis. They produce new cells, two new cells. The
Yeah.
cells are exactly like the parent cell. Girls, this is very important. You must know all the asexual reproduction, you will get exactly like the parent cell. So what is binary fission? The parent organism splits into two, producing two new cells. Producing two new cells. The new cells are exactly like the parent cell. Did you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Coming to the next one called as budding. Excuse me, girls. What is budding? It's also one of the procedure, one of the method how organisms can reproduce. During budding, an organism develops tiny buds onto its body. A bud grows until it forms a new full-size organism that is genetically identical. Simple, girls. Imagine I have a plant. Okay? I have a plant. You see, we call the plant as hydras in water. There is a new bud which comes out. That bud becomes little big. When it becomes very big, it makes a new organism that exactly identical. You know, we have something called money plant. Do you know something called as money plant? I will show you the picture. Wait a second. I'll show you the picture of the money plant. It's not that the money comes out from there.
Miss, I'm sorry I went out because my teeth.
Okay, it's okay. See, I'm talking about asexual reproduction, where they don't need a parent to reproduce. Money plant. Let me show you the picture of money plant. Yeah. See, they look like this. Usually in the offices and many. One second.
Yeah,
See, like this. Usually in the offices and everywhere you see that it grows and grows and grows big, and they put this.
yeah, and like homes.
Yeah, in the homes.
And
yes.
indoors.
Yeah, indoors also. Yes, excellent indoors. So, what do you think? What do you think about this plant? You know, automatically the buds come out, the buds, the small, but nobody is putting a seed, or it doesn't need some other parent to make more leaves and grow more. Okay, like we say climber money plant. This is also very beautiful, and people love it. The climber money plant. I hope it comes here faster. Like they're these kind. You have seen in the offices and many.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So anyways, they just come out from the one bud. Okay, that is called budding. Budding is the result of mitosis. A bud grows until it forms a new full-size organism that is exactly identical to the parent. Example, hydras, or hydras in water. Let me show you hydras also. Like, see, this was the money plant I was talking about. Now coming to hydras. Let us see hydras, because they are also by hydras. Hydras. See, these are the water plant animals. And they grow by their own. They don't need, I'll just show you here, hydras growing. You can see.
Yeah, Miss, we have one. It grew by its own. We didn't put a seed or anything.
That's what.
Multicellular freshwater organism about 1 centimeter long. It has a tubular body with a basal disc for attachment and a free distal or oral end-bearing mouth and circlet of tentacles. Hydra reproduces asexually by budding. At the time of asexual reproduction, small buds appear on the body wall.
You understand how it comes out? By itself. A small, and then they grow.
As the bud elongates, a mouth opens at its free anterior end, followed by the development of tentacles at the base of the oral region.
Did you see how is it by itself?
The newly developed hydra detaches from the parent body and fixes on a substratum.
Now they drop from the parent body and they fixes themselves down and make a new plant. Do you understand now?
Yeah.
Okay, now this was I wanted to show you. Now come back. Where was I? Come back to. All right. So I taught you about budding. Allah, what happened to my system now? I taught you about budding. I taught you about binary fission. About budding, about binary fission. And now coming to spores. Before that, let me show you the video and then because spores is given perfectly over there in the video. Okay, I hope it loads.
Welcome to the lesson, Sexual and Asexual Reproduction. In this lesson, you will learn about ways organisms reproduce and the advantages and disadvantages of each type of reproduction. The vocabulary words for this lesson are asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction, and fertilization. Click each word to learn more about it.
Sorry, the internet is very slow. But tell me the 4 types.
Animals that have both male
it's
and
easy, yeah.
female organs in one individual are called hermaphrodites. Every earthworm has the ability to lay eggs. But an earthworm cannot fertilize itself, so it must join with another earthworm to reproduce. The earthworms shown here are fertilizing each other. All living things can reproduce or make new living things. The two types of reproduction are sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction requires two parents, while asexual reproduction needs only one. In sexual reproduction, two parents combine their genetic material to form a new organism. The new organism is formed using genetic information from each parent. This new organism will be different from both parents. Almost all multicellular organisms reproduce by sexual reproduction. Click the images to learn more about sexual reproduction. Gametes are cells used in reproduction. Females make egg cells. Males make sperm cells. Each gamete has only half of the chromosomes needed to make a complete organism. During fertilization, the sperm and egg combine to form a zygote, which has the full set of chromosomes.
3 of you know, right? That egg cell and male sperm cell, they combine to form a new cell that is Zygote. What is the process? The process is fertilization.
When the egg cell and the sperm cell join together.
To give you zygote, that is with the process of fertilization.
Zygote is the first cell of a new organism. The zygote divides into 2 cells, then those 2 divide into 4, and 4 divide into 16. The cells divide over and over again until they become a developed organism that has millions of cells. The zygote gets its genes from both parents, so the new organism will not look exactly like either of them. And each of the offspring will be a little different from his or her siblings. The result is a population with a variety of traits. This diversity increases a species' chances of survival and is one of the advantages of sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction only needs one parent. All of the offspring that result are identical to their parent. Asexual reproduction can happen in many different ways. Click each image to learn more about each type of asexual reproduction.
Okay, Malak, tell me the types of asexual reproduction. How can they reproduce? By BBS?
By
Budding.
BBS.
What is that? B for budding. B for binary fission. S for
spores.
C for
Vegetative reproduction.
You will learn tomorrow and come to my class. 3 of you, okay?
Okay.
You may think that asexual reproduction is very simple. It only needs one parent, and all the offspring are identical. But asexual reproduction can happen in many different ways. Binary fission is common among single-celled organisms. The cell divides once to form 2 identical organisms. In budding, a new organism grows from the outside surface of its parent. Organisms such as hydras and yeasts reproduce by
I
budding.
have shown you, right, how the hydra and yeast reproduce. The video of hydra you have seen.
When some organisms, such as fungi, reproduce asexually, they make special cells called spores. These spores can survive in harsh conditions and will remain dormant until conditions are right for them to develop into complete organisms. Some plants do not need seeds or spores.
Like potato, girls. Have you ever seen something like this on the potato?
No.
Like example, when the potato is fit for maybe 20 days. I can show it to you now. Wait a second, because I have in my what do you call as I was reproducing a potato. You know why? Potato itself produce something like this, and when I directly put into the plant, I'll show you now. Wait a second, guys. I will show you. I have it.
Why you do like this, miss? You put it in a plant. You grow a plant in a potato.
For showing it to my son. I'll show it to you. Wait a minute, guys. I have it. I wanted to show you.
Oh, miss. So you grew a plant in a potato.
No, this is, see, what I did is I kept the normal potato what you get from supermarket. I kept it aside maybe for 10 to 12 days or more, maybe more than that. And then automatically something grows like this. And then if I put plant, into the soil, there is another potato will come out from this. I don't need a seed to sow that.
Oh, miss. So now if you put it in the soil, the potato will come.
Yeah, if you want, you can do an activity with this, girls. You can take a potato from your house, put it aside for many days, and after this has grown, put it into the plant. You will see a new potato coming out from that, and this is something very easy.
How many days does it take to get another potato?
Maybe 10 to 12 more days. That's it.
It's fast, miss.
Yes, keep it there. You know, I actually, okay, so you have seen in real, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now let me continue.
spores to reproduce. They
So
grow
you know how new plant develop. I've shown you how the plant developed. And they from special stems
Yeah.
plants. That was a new plant. What I've shown you, that is called a new plant. And then you keep it in the soil to make a new potato.
new copies of themselves from stems or tiny plantlets that sprout from the
Okay,
parent.
guys, how do the new potato look like? It's exactly the same. Do you think it's some different color?
No.
This
So
type of
look, it will be a normal potato.
Normal potato. So what is this called? This is called as vegetative reproduction. This is called as
Maybe I will try it. It looks cool.
sexual reproduction
Miss,
results from
why don't we
mitosis.
make activity on?
yes, you can do an activity. That's what I said you. You can carry on an activity.
Yeah, it will be nice because it's cool. When it looks like you put a seed in a potato and it grew a plant.
Or at least you take a potato and keep it when this try to grow. Or say your father, you know, when he goes to buy, sometime not from the supermarket, sometimes even in the supermarket, you can see that. Ask him about this potato and he will tell you, and they can get one for you. You can take that in your hand and you can just explain about the vegetative reproduction to me. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, dear. Okay, take care. Take care, girls. Have a nice day.
Bye.